Hello everybody and welcome to The Park. I am your host, Paul Rodriguez, and this is my personal audio log recorded content. And this week I have a special guest, but not in the mental illness kind of terms.
Not that special.
Hey! We're already starting off with some dumb stuff. Alright, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi. I think I remember in one of your, I think it was the second or the first podcast where like, there's some people are gonna invite over where you're gonna, where the listeners are gonna lose a few brain cells. I think this is the first one of those situations.
Like, I'm already losing mine.
I already lost mine before we got here. So. Hello, my name's Carlo Puche. I am Paul's friend. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. And what should I say about myself? I've known Paul since 2010, I think, and we met at a youth camp.
Wait, what's your name?
I said Carlo.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, well, so we're gonna have to do this all over again.
Alright.
Okay. Okay, just in case, my name is Carlo, and I am I've known Paul since 2010. We met at a youth camp. Should I mention names? So that's fine. Yeah, we met at this youth group at Catholic Church youth group called Youth for Christ, as it was known before. Now it's called CFC Youth. It's a whole other story. You guys don't need to hear that. But yeah, and I make some of the music for Paul's podcast for Park.
Oh yeah, man, that's exciting.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Carlo, as he introduced himself, is not good enough. He's one of my best friends, and having him on this podcast really means a lot to me, considering he was one of the first people that I approached when thinking of this topic, and I wanted him to help me be creative because I know that he's one of the more creative guys here.
And it's such an honor, if need to say so myself.
So we went over how we met. How about telling me what were your first impressions of me?
First impressions, I think like harkening back to that time. Like I just remember like just being loud in that camp. Well, I remember quite a few things, but I think, like, I had this like this like kind of like timid vibe from Paul, but at the same time, like, I don't really remember much. All I remember is that like I know he would laugh along like with like the stuff that I do, so I was just kind of like, then he, I like. Gets my humor, so maybe I should talk to him at some point. So it kind of worked out, and it's but for the most part, with like at least in the initial stages of talking to Paul, like it's not that it was awkward because I could like I had no fear of like approaching you, like you're a pretty chill guy. But sometimes I just didn't know like what to say because I was just too busy like trying to make laughs or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. Like for me, that camp, honestly, I did not like it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like that's the whole reason. Like I never really was active in that community.
Yeah.
So like I actually like I don't know. I got to know you better. Like
I think it was.
I already forgot that we met during that camp.
Right.
I thought we met like the year after, because
Right.
I know your sister was from that camp,
Yeah.
but like I actually totally forgot that you were in that camp.
Yeah.
So.
But you remember being in that camp?
Oh yeah, of
Okay.
course. I remember. I remember being in that camp.
Okay.
But you know, either way.
But I think we only really got to know each other, I think, a few years after, right?
Yeah.
Because you went away for a bit. Like, you would come like to like some of like the YFC or CFC youth events from time to time.
Right.
Is that
I'd really only go if my parents forced me to go. So.
Right.
We probably didn't get to see a lot of each other.
Right.
But I'm kind of glad that we got to see each other on our own terms.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's quite valuable that we got to know each other. Wait, actually, let me retract that. What do you mean by in our own terms?
Oh, like just like, well, seeing each other around other. Well, it's the same group from like youth, but like to get to hang around you guys more often. I think we really connected, especially because you're the most dank memer.
Yeah, right.
I know.
No, I agree. I'm not for myself. Like, I think what got me and Paul like really close is that it's just like, I think we share a lot of like the same humor. If you push comes to shove, we like the same, you know, we like the same videos and SoundCloud mashups. Like, for instance, there's what's a good one? Like, okay, if you guys know the John Sudano videos, we've been looking those up before John Sudano even got popular. Like All Star.
Oh yeah.
All Star. Yeah, all those All Star mashup. All Star and All Star and Evanescence.
Yeah.
That's with the guitar riff from All Star. That was before John Sudano. I think I'm peaking. Right?
Well, you're good. We're good.
Okay. We'll just crop.
We'll just crop it in post.
Right? We'll just crop all the peaks out. So we were doing discovering cool things before they were cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So to speak.
Yeah. But yeah, we definitely got to know each other more. I think I remember it was last year. I went to the Philippines actually, and Carlo also happened to be in the Philippines.
We were in the same city.
We were in the same city, and he took a cab to my house. And we just hung out the whole day.
we just walked in freaking what's that? Alabama. Alabang. That was the name of the place, Alabang.
Yeah.
Like looking back. Okay, I'm not a good tourist. Okay, I'm just like
I like I said before, I'd be kidnapped if I was if I went to the Philippines alone. So I think I'm more than lucky to have you. I believe, like my parents were already like, you can't go alone. Like, even if it's just you and Fred, like, we gotta go with you. I'm like, Mom, let me do this. I'm 19. Wait, I'm 20.
We're 20.
I was
Yeah, that's
21.
right.
I was 21. I already forgot.
Actually,
how
yeah,
old
I know I was 20. I was 21. I think you were probably 20.
I was turning 21.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna invite you to my birthday, but you left the Philippines already.
Wait, how long were you there for again?
Until like the 3rd week or 2nd week of September. Yeah.
Okay, now I was already gone by then. Yeah.
But
well. Still. That's
yeah. And then that's up to now, I guess. Is there anything you wanna add to our friendship history? Should we check Facebook?
let's just
See
go
what
through our
memories we have.
let's just go through our timeline and just narrate or add commentary on everything that we have together. I mean, we could have a whole podcast on that. I don't think so.
We'll change the podcast name to Facebook Memories.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We'll just revolve around that. I mean, okay, we have a topic here.
All right, yeah. Let's go into let's go into the actual podcast now.
Okay,
But yeah, I think you wanted to talk about what was it? Overthinking. Overthinking.
Should we summarize it? Like we have overthinking, anxiety, sentiment, and passion. You know, okay, for such like a lighthearted discussion to initiate with, I think we just went really heavy from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're about to go deep.
Yeah.
We're deep and thick.
Yeah. Deep and thick. And anyways, I guess to start off this topic, just want to start off officially this entire interview. Okay, so we're doing overthinking, and how should we approach this? Should we? I think we should talk about what is overthinking.
What is overthinking to you? What is
To
over?
me.
Yeah, to you.
Overthinking is, I think relative to me, it's when how do you say this? It's when I kind of just like start imagining all the outcomes in that situation. And then just kind of start you know, like worrying about like what if, you know, like what if this doesn't work out, or what if I said this wrong, how would this person react, or what if I said it a certain way, how would this person react, or what if I worded this a little, what if like even down to the nitty gritty of grammar, like in a social context, in a social you know, in a social like personal context. That's how I find myself overthinking, like especially in new settings, like when I'm in actually like I just moved out of the house, and I just started school in Capilano. I live in North Van now. Thanks, man. It's been really good despite the new environment, or you know, even with the new environment, it's been really good.
Yeah, man. It was like the first time you're moving out without like, you know, your parents to be there, right?
Yeah, I mean, except when they drop by stuff, and they still have some support, so I'm still thankful for that. I'm not like, I don't want to say I'm completely. I don't think I can consider myself completely independent, because you know, like my parents still help me. I'm back here in Richmond this weekend, so. But I think overthinking is just when you're, at least one aspect of it, and how I usually experience it is when I start imagining all these outcomes and start over analyzing my own words or actions, and wondering what outcome they would start to bring out.
Yeah. I think that really goes for everybody, because to me, like, overthinking is all of that. Like, you know, you want to be doing something,
Right.
but you're trying to think of either the consequences,
Right.
or what's gonna happen if you do succeed in doing what you do.
Right. Or the other way around, like what if you fail, or
Right, yeah.
how would,
Exactly.
yeah, or if this would fail, and you know.
Yeah. So like, what are some of the like main things? Well, not main things, but like main memories that you'd have of like overthinking?
I think I have.
I'm gonna take a quick guess right now. That is gonna be about like pursuing relationships.
You're well aware, bro. You're well aware of the situation, man. No, it's yeah, no, like Paul knows about the whole situation. Actually, yeah, that's
because it goes for me too. It goes for me too. It's you're not alone in this.
Yeah.
But
yeah, romantic pursuits. That's a big one actually. We're of course like romantic, when you're pursuing someone romantically, you're in a state of vulnerability. So you're putting down a lot of guard. I'm just speaking generalities right now, but you're putting down a lot of guard for someone. So for me to flesh out, not physically, for me to flesh out my
not
emotional.
physically. Sorry.
I mean, that's really embarrassing, and I know I have good reason to overthink like fleshing. Okay, anyways, when you reveal yourself, and your own intentions and your own emotional state to someone that you regard so highly and so infatuatingly, that's the reason why I would overthink, or the reason why I would get in that state of overthinking, as I defined earlier, is that I want to be able to know that I've said everything that I wanted to said, or expressed everything that I wanted and needed to express, and do it in the least amount of emotional collateral damage.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because if I said something, if I said something, I really like your left armpit, when I meant to say I really like your hair. Like that's gonna go a long way, right?
It's a weird analogy, but yeah, I get it.
So
I think there's also like the other aspect of overthinking is that where you overthink it to a point where you just don't end up doing it at all, right? And I think that's the worst, because you end up with like so much regret.
Right.
Yeah. Because I definitely remember, I think it was, I would say a few years ago, on the topic of like overthinking and like in romantic pursuits, there's definitely this girl that I had like a lot of feelings for.
Yeah.
And like I was just thinking about it too much, and everyone, like, the thing is about like these kind of romantic pursuits is that when you start to tell people about these romantic pursuits, it's that it kind of jinxes it. And then so like I told a lot of people that I like this girl, and like everyone was like, yeah dude, go for it. And like, you guys look great together, and I'm like, you know what, I'll try my best to go for it.
Yeah.
And then I just kept thinking it, and like it never happened, right? Because I don't know, man, I was just a big wuss.
But what's
when it comes to like pursuing someone like that, it's just I overthink things a lot. It's like not even in not in a romantic pursuit kind of way, like like even like decisions in life, like such as school and work, and like especially like when I was like applying to jobs that, like odd jobs that are like, I know that they're odd jobs and like I could probably apply to it and like get in, but like I always like overthink, like, oh, what am I gonna be doing at this job? Will I like this? Am I gonna stay at this job for more than a year? Because actually I've never really stayed at a job for more than a year,
Right.
except for that one kitchen job. But that still didn't really stick with me. But
Right.
I mean, the job that I have now, it's probably, I hope it goes well.
Yeah.
Right.
Like speaking of jobs, actually, I think I remember when I first graduated high school, I wasn't able to get to school because I could, but like at that time we weren't like residents, so we didn't want to bother paying international tuition, right?
Mhm.
So my option was to work in the meantime, and I think like that was
How
probably
much is international tuition?
estimately like at least 3 times more than normal tuition.
Damn.
Like yeah, obviously every program is like
That's Canada for you.
it's Canada for you. So and like tuition's already expensive in general, right?
Exactly.
So top notch, high quality,
Top-notch education.
education. Yeah. But I think like there's a point where my first job was at Burger King in the airport,
Ooh.
and it was kind of like it was a hard job. That's all I say. It's in the airport. It's such an
It's gone now, though.
It's gone now. It's Wendy's.
Is Wendy's.
Yeah, it's
Wendy's.
moved up.
And
Sad stories. But anyways, like after that, like it closed down. I was there when it closed down actually.
ooh.
And it closed down around April, and I had at least May, June, July, August, September, 5 months before I could go back to school. Go back to school in BCIT, and I think the hard part was, or the next step for me supposedly was to find a job.
Right.
Just to like occupy that interval between getting or leaving Burger King to the time of starting school, and I was not employed in that 5 months
Oh man.
because I think like I was honestly just I was overthinking it. Like I was like I would have situations where, or I would put myself in a situation where I'd walk into like the mall, or I'd walk into like the store, like with my folder in hand with the resume, and then I'd be just like I'd be thinking about all this situation. Oh, how am I gonna sound, or what should I say, and whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude, interviews are the worst, but
Yeah.
like, you get through it and then
Yeah.
you get hired.
No,
It's
this isn't even the interview. This is just me giving my resume. this
okay, that too. I guess that too, but like,
yeah, no, it's that
Yeah,
was honestly
it's
the
like-
hardest
it's like when
part
you're-
for me,
what-
hardest part for me.
like
yeah.
you have to like go up to the cashier and you're like, can I see the manager?
Yeah, right?
Can you?
Yeah.
Like, what if she says that?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Then what do I do?
Like, nah, get out of here. We don't
Well,
serve your kind.
We don't want your can this town. McDonald's, man.
McDonald's. Wait, so where would you apply to? Like during those 5 months?
I applied in Lansdowne, like
The
a
mall?
bunch of the mall,
Yeah.
in and I applied in like a bike store, but I had no idea how to like fix bikes. So I mean, I could ride bikes. I like bikes, but I can't fix bikes, and they were looking for guys who could fix bikes. I applied for McDonald's, and it was, I don't know, like, and I got the interview, but like I don't know, like it just didn't work out. I don't remember exactly how it went.
Yeah.
I don't like remembering it.
Those are the dark days.
Those are dark
days.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's just like so much about overthinking that just like you said, like it just puts you in a situation of like missed opportunities because
Yeah.
you know like
You definitely don't want to like be regretting like certain decisions in your life.
yeah
So it's like either you go through with it, like such as this podcast. I was during like I think the first 3 weeks of like its conception. I was just like I was really excited to do this.
yeah
At the same time, it's like I'm not really gonna be. I kept telling myself that I don't think I'll probably have enough listeners to
Right.
like really go through with this, but like I thought, you know, since it's a personal audio log, it's really just for myself, for
Right.
me to listen to.
Right.
So it's not really whatever about like whatever everybody else thinks,
yeah
but more of like
just
self-improvement, right?
exactly. And I think you know that's way more valuable than viewership, let's say.
Yeah.
You growing as a person,
Mhm.
understanding yourself better. That's such a gift than
Mhm.
monetization.
Yeah, exactly. This
And-
isn't even monetized, so like unless we got plugs, we
Unless
got
you get sponsored. Speaking of which,
speaking
buy
of
our
which,
new shade.
what do we got?
We'll be right back.
We got Glade air freshener here. We got Altoids. Sponsor us,
Steroids.
Altoids.
Thanks, Altoids. Curiously strong mints. Thank you.
But yeah, anyways, like
Yeah.
yeah, in regards to like overthinking as well, it's like I remember the time like I had like a revelation where I was just like, you know, I should really just stop overthinking things
Right.
and just definitely go through with it. And
Right.
one of those things was this podcast, right? As I just said. And another thing was I think in regards to like my work,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I guess like there's also like a downside of like not overthinking as much would be like impulsivity, right?
I agree.
Definitely.
I agree. I have my. I think I have my. Okay, not biggest. I have big regrets from impulsivity.
Uh-huh.
It was in a stage of high school where I'm just like, hey, I'm a weird, crazy kid.
You and me both. Holy.
Yeah, and I'm just like, let's take on the world with my uniqueness. Frey.
You ever like color your hair?
Oh no, never go that far, man.
I remember
Disgusting.
there was this one time I think my mom was dyeing her hair and she was
Okay.
like putting highlights in her hair, and I actually like she asked me if I wanted to do it too, and
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, I'll like just put some streaks in my hair.
Yeah.
And the next day I came to school and like everyone was like, dude, what's wrong with your hair, man? I'm like, well, you know what? My mom was dyeing her hair and
Get
she had
weird.
some on her hand and she put it on my head. So I was like, Mom.
You're not handsome.
No, I was like, Mom, why would you do this? You're ruining my hair. But actually, you know, it was just me. I was just like, I want streaks in my hair.
No, you're actually asking for it, man.
But then everybody hated it, and I was like, no, it was a total accident.
Actually, it's harkening back to like romantic pursuits actually in high school.
Oh yeah.
And I got this because it was from an advice from an older year person.
Yeah.
That person, let's call her Jamie Kins.
Jamie Kids.
Jamie Kins.
Okay.
I'm just keeping anonymous.
Jamie's Kids.
Yeah, Jamie's kids. Anyway, Jamie's kids was, she was a senior, or no, she was a recent senior
Yeah.
at that time, not recent senior. She was a recent graduate,
Yeah.
and she was visiting art class, and then we're just like I consider her as one of my like those really good, like awesome like friends from the upper year, and I was like, and she was just like talking about like giving advice about like what it's like to be in grad year. And one of her advice was just like, just do everything you want and don't be afraid to express yourself because it's your last year. You don't live long in it. What do you call it? You don't have a long life or anyways, it's just a lot of just like that whole like time is short. Don't be afraid to express what you want to express.
Yeah.
And I really took that to heart.
Yeah.
So I did, and I wrote a letter to this one girl like in a younger year, and it was kind of stupid. It was just in freaking bond, like it wasn't even pretty. It was just line paper, like said, "Hey, I really like you. I would consider liking you," or something stupid like that.
ABB.
Hey, BB.
ABB you want.
Yeah, and then and I didn't think that through because like halfway, like I just kind of realized I didn't actually like that girl. I just like, just soft admiration.
Right. Yeah.
And
infatuation.
Yeah.
Right?
Infatuation for that.
We'll save that for another episode.
Yeah, for another episode.
But
anyways, and like I don't know. I just set myself up for some kind of like. I just set myself up for like unwarranted or unwanted attention. Like people's like because obviously she told her friends, and they know, and now there's all these other girls or other people are just like, hey, you're asking Orlando out.
These are good names. Jamie Kids and Orlando.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I was just like, I just told her.
Wait, are those two different people?
They're two different people.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, they're two different people. Yeah, so
there's
you just
a car alarm going on.
Frick,
Sorry if you guys hear that, but there's a car alarm going on.
It's the background music. It's not. So yeah.
Be sure to include car alarms in here in the loop this week.
Thank you for listening to a park.
But yeah, anyways.
Yeah, and just those kind of things like unwarranted attention, unnecessary feelings of eventual hurt because you didn't think through your own feelings,
Right.
and you didn't think of the repercussions and the responsibility that comes with expressing these feelings.
Right, exactly. You don't really get to realize a lot of that, especially like when you're a teenager.
Yeah, right. It's just a lot of like hedonistic, like okay, not hedonistic. That's not insane. That's or just more like a lot of just like you only live once mentality.
YOLO.
Right? Yeah, I don't frick.
Made famous by the Aubrey D. Graham.
Aubrey. I don't even know who that is.
It's Drake's real name.
Coach, is it?
Yeah.
Aubrey?
Aubrey.
I mean, it's not bad of a rapper, like pseudonym. Right?
True. That's
Aha!
yeah.
Aubrey.
Anyways, we passed 30 minutes.
Holy
so we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
And welcome back. We're back from our break. Carlo, you wanted to finish up on that overthinking.
Wait, I'm thinking.
Don't overthink.
Yeah.
Don't overthink.
Yeah. Just some like last thoughts about overthinking. Because I gotta give it thought because I'm overthinking it. I think we were talking about that girl earlier. Let's call her
Altoids. Altoids.
Altoids fresh. What's the catchphrase?
Curiously strong.
Altoids curiously strong mints.
Okay, call her Mint.
Please sponsor us.
Call her Mint.
Mints. That's not bad actually.
Yeah.
Mint. With okay, but yeah, mints. That's pretty cute actually. I don't mind that. So like regarding mints, this just happened recently. I won't say when. So there was a point where she and I met up with other friends, and at that point, like, I actually got to know her better, where we talked quite a bit, and I found out about like her past, and found out about what she was taking in school. She was quite an open book, and then she mentioned her birthday. And I took it to heart. Like, I remembered her birthday, and just so happens that her birthday was also coming up like in that same month. And like, the thing is, like, I wasn't sure whether when her birthday came, I wanted to tell her happy birthday. But the thing is, like, I think I kind of found out on Facebook that, like, no one was greeting her happy birthday because she probably kept it private, right?
Right. So
I was already thinking, like, so should I tell her? Should I say happy birthday to her or not?
Like, you weren't sure of, like, when her actual birthday was?
I knew her birthday. No, I knew her birthday.
You know her birthday.
I know her birthday for sure. I'm not giving the date because that kind of narrows down so many things. But I knew her birthday, and I was like, should I greet her or not? Like, even by private message. Because first of all, if I told her happy birthday, there's two ways that it can go. Either she would appreciate that I remember her birthday from that conversation that we had. Or she might think that I'm creepy, and I'm overthinking, or I'm like over remembering like little details in that conversation.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, it's like it's a birthday. It's not like something specific. Like,
it's just write HBD.
Yeah, right. I mean, if
that way, that she actually knows that nothing's going.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's just keeping it low key and just like HBD, but. Like, in my uncertainty and in my overthinking, like, I couldn't make a decision. I ended up messaging everyone in our group chat with like all our other friends. I was saying,
oh yeah, I remember that.
Right? I was like, hey, do you think I should tell Mints happy birthday? Like, cause her birthday isn't private. Because her birthday, I think, is private, and I don't know if I should say it or if it makes me look creepy. And then. Like, everyone was just like, oh, obviously just say happy birthday.
Oh, dude, that's too much. You can't say happy birthday.
Yeah.
No,
do you think I should have said it?
I think you shouldn't have said it, and then you should have been like,
I think.
Oh, hey, happy birthday. But at the same time, don't say it.
At the same time, right?
Just make eye contact with her.
And kind of imply it with my eye contact.
Imply
right?
that she'll have a happy birthday.
I'm not sure how do you that's an amazing skill to have if you can convey
a birthday greeting through eye contact.
Like screw superpowers, man. If you can say happy birthday.
I just want to convey everything that I say through eye contact. Just
right?
Not because I hate talking to people, man. I get so anxious when I talk to people, dude.
Right, so you just make eye contact, and everyone gets it.
And I think I'd probably also fall into anxiety with making eye contact with people.
Actually, yeah,
so
yeah. Oh, hey, that's actually. I think that's a segment.
Did I segue?
Right?
Did I segue?
A little bit, yeah. Wait, before we go there,
oh yeah, go ahead.
Like, there was also a point where for Mints, I I was about to admit my feelings to her, so I started making a dialogue ground. You know, kind of just how in like RPGs
Like
where
a
it's
script?
like a script, yeah,
A script.
like a rough script. It's just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna say this. If she reacts
Oh, yeah.
this way, if she reacts in shock, say this, or if she laughs, continue. If she
Okay.
says, and ask her if you're willing to like go on. Okay, I didn't say that, but if you're willing to go on a date with me, let's say, and she was like, yes, then provide venue and blah 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 blah, or no, plea or something. Anyway,
Run.
flee. And I think like, I'm just kind of like pouring out my my secrets here, but anyway, whatever. No, but that's the reality of I think the reality of just overthinking. Like you just end up like just coming up with just trying to like overanalyze situations, and you're aware it's unnecessary, or you're overdoing certain things, and like and more often than not, like how you overthink things, it never like comes out. It never really comes out the way.
It'll never end up how you expect.
Exactly.
No matter how much you overthink it, it's not gonna go out all the ways that you expect. Is gonna come out that other way.
Yeah.
That you didn't think about.
Right.
Ironically, because you overthinked it.
Yeah, exactly.
Overthought it. Sorry.
Yeah, overthink.
Overthunk.
Yeah. And I think another thing about what do you call this? Like overthinking is, like those really weird like nights where you're just like thinking about a lot of stuff, and then you get
when you're just like lying in bed.
You're lying in bed, yeah.
And then you're just like you can't really sleep.
Yeah. And for some reason you remember that thing you did in grade 5.
The one thing, the tiniest thing, and then it just keeps you up for like until like 3 a.m.
Yeah, right.
Just like
what? And then I'm just like, oh, why did I even do that, man? Just turn my head. Yeah. And then that's the thing, like you don't eat, and I don't even remember those things like in the next morning,
right.
until I only remember them on the day off or just at that moment.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just kind of segue anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Just little like signs of anxiety.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, regarding anxiety, how should we start it off?
Oh, what are your? I guess same way we started off. Like what is it? To
What
you?
is anxiety? Oh, what is anxiety?
Yeah. What are your experiences with anxiety?
It's more like a.
I think people already know what anxiety is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really something that really differs from person to person.
Exactly.
It's more of.
It's just like an
their
emotional.
personal experiences of the same feeling.
Yeah, exactly. It's the emotional. It's more like an emotional response, right?
Mm-hmm,
Of just like you, feeling like really. Like I'd say, like recently, it's really cringy. It comes in a cringy form.
Right. Yeah, especially like when you're looking back at like, not really when you're looking back, but more like in the moment of
Off.
Yeah, especially like the fact that like going back to like overthinking, that really correlates with anxiety is because you overthink the actions that you plan to do.
Yeah.
And then you get anxious about actually following through with those plans, right?
Right.
Yeah. So like
I think
yeah.
I think like a bit of I think that already correlates with if you replace overthinking with getting anxious, that's almost the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That's our definition of anxiety right there.
Yeah. Overthinking in feeling form almost.
Yeah.
I think that's
So like what
or
are your
the emotional response that comes from from overthinking.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know,
yeah.
something like that.
Like
Yeah.
what you feel when you just think about something too much,
Yeah.
and then worrying about how how it's gonna go.
How it's gonna go through. How it's gonna fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
How it's gonna turn out.
Nervousness, anxiety. It's like it's all like very hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. It's crazy. Um.
Yeah. Like, what are your like personal experiences with that? If that you mind sharing?
No, I'm just kidding. um. Actually, like as of recent, anxiety. Like I don't think I've been diagnosed with like any kind of, or officially diagnosed with any.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, we all have, like, people definitely have it like very bad that
There are
they
people,
have
yeah.
to take medication for
Yeah.
like anxiety.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, I think we all feel
Some
some sort of anxiety.
It's just a
but-
matter of how much you can cope it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, because I wasn't gonna give an example. I was gonna give like a situation that I'm going through right now.
Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I've talked about this with you, right? Like after this thing called adoration in church, where I kind of just emotionally blew up and kind of realized I was going through this thing that I didn't know was
Mm-hmm.
kind of or probably some kind of anxiety, but what happened was like, it was just this kind of like deep kind of like prayer meditation thing in church, and I bawled my eyes out, and in that in that moment I kind of, this is where I think for me, like, just looking back, it just gets kind of like mystical, like in a sense, really, like it was like a religious experience, but I had a I ended up bawling my eyes out, and like I felt like emotionally dry after that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized and at the same time I was kind of just like, it was just kind of like, it was just handed to me in that reflection that I was dealing with this right in my face. You're dealing with this thing called anxiety, right in my face, and I've been dealing with that throughout the past few years, ever since I started college. I was getting like some like chest pains. I would clench my chest a lot, especially when like in times of like when I'm alone, or when I'm on the bus, like to myself.
Yeah.
And I think these are like, and I'm still in the process of figuring out like the entire thing, right? And I just went to the doctor to figure out whether this is just a medical thing and not.
Mm-hmm. So did you like ask the doctor like about like anxiety and like if you should take any medication or like, something like that, or like
not?
It wasn't.
Or we didn't get to that discussion yet, actually, because I went to check, like I wanted
you just want to check out like your chest pains, right?
Yeah, I wanted to check my chest pain, so I got like I went for a lab test for my breathing to see if there's anything with my respiratory going on with my respiratory system. So apparently, like, I think like she gave me, or my doctor gave me like pills so I can like burp more often. So probably it's just like stuck gas. But after that medication,
you still had like the chest pains.
It's not so bad, but like it's not so bad. I'm still waiting out a few more weeks because I still have medication. See if this is actually maybe a health thing.
I see.
Or an emotional response thing. But anyway, like, so I got my results. It was a negative that it was a test to see if it was like my chest pain is like a medical condition.
Right.
Turns out to be negative, fail negative or something.
Okay.
Double negative.
Failed negative.
Yeah, something like that.
So like you definitely don't have it, or you
positive
do have it.
No, it's like I anyway. It doesn't. It means I have nothing.
Okay. Okay.
Nothing.
There.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thanks, man. And that's what I've been going through. But I think the thing. Alright, where did I leave off?
You're just talking about how like your anxiety affects you like kind of like physically.
Physically, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think like I'm still in that weird dilemma where whether this is still like whether just an emotional response of just like me being anxious about things, and or if this is like a health thing.
Mm-hmm.
But what I've found out also is like oh shoot, I was gonna go off a tangent. Actually, we'll
I mean, you can talk about whatever you want, man.
Okay. How long do we have?
Don't worry. You got 10 more minutes.
Are you serious? Okay. No, I don't want to keep it here.
No worries.
Yeah. I guess what I want to convey is that like anxiety or any feelings like this shouldn't be like suppressed.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because a part of like what's like, you know, I've been reflecting this like and why I feel this way, or you know, like, or why I think I feel like some sort of anxiety that hopefully but like hopefully it's not the cause of my chest pains, but if it is,
mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it like built up anxiety just leads you to just all these like, you know, health problems, or just all these confusion in your life, and just, you know, it just hurts you in general, like even
Really?
and even like the, you know, this little things, I think.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I think it's really good to point out that like there's like this kind of big big perspective of anxiety that you're giving.
yeah,
It's like concerning like for me, like my anxiety is I'd say relatively small.
Right.
I mean, like everyone's anxiety is big to them,
right,
but
Yeah.
like, you know, hearing it from a different perspective where it's
Yeah.
actually like causing like kind of like physical pain, like for
Yeah.
me, like when I get anxious, it's more of actually, well, I mean, it's not like a lot of like I do sometimes feel like that physical pain when I do get like really really anxious.
Mm-hmm.
I remember because at our youth conference, and then like it would be my first time actually performing on stage.
Right.
I was actually the most anxious right there. Like those are that was like one of the times that I felt the most anxious, going
Yeah.
up on stage and like, you know, having to do like a rap in front of, what was it, like 500 people.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah.
it was really crazy, but we actually I actually like got through it.
That
And, like
bomb was that bomb.
that
That honestly, that like I remember that rap still, like
Yeah.
that was the highlight of that event, honestly, because like I when I look at when I remember that conference, I just remember like
Right.
because
Yeah.
that was such a
'Cause-
important thing.
like, and then like considering like it was actually always like it always had been my dream to like perform on stage and like, you know, put on a show to like entertain, right?
Right.
And then like get everybody hyped as well.
Yeah.
It was more of a like affirmation for me that everybody really liked it,
Yeah.
and like how much I want to try to like continue doing that kind of stuff,
Right.
right? But I'm not a rapper.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not a rapper. But yeah, like that, and like also like I think it was doing like public speaking as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are what give me the most anxiety.
Yeah.
But at the same time, kind of like still relatively small, where it's not like causing like
a
a lot of
continuous
pain.
strain.
Oh yeah, I remember like after that performance. By the way, it was like I actually thought that like I got a hernia because like my abdomen was just like it felt like it was just falling out of my body. And I went up to like first aid, and it was like, yo, I have a hernia, and I'm like, nah, dude, you're probably just winded.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's performing for you, man. That's
it was crazy, but it was all worth it considering like we won the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I look back to that. That's such a great performance.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Spectrum of anxiety, eh? It's crazy. I think I guess like to segue to passion, like I think another form of anxiety is just kind of like that kind of arises is just like that need for this is I guess it is in terms of just like public speaking or performing. It's just like that want to perfect your performance or to perform well, and or to to do very well, and not to just like because you're setting yourself up for expectations like intentionally, so you don't want to break that expectation for yourself.
Right.
So you wanna you're obviously just you have that pressure to just like maintain that that level of performance.
Yeah.
So like
for you, what are your passions?
For me, for
like
my
passions that not necessarily like give you the most anxiety, but like just passions in general.
Passions, art and music. I'm a art nerd, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, music is an art. You don't have to.
Yeah. Art.
I guess
actually,
art in like
art and
all forms.
Yeah, that's true. Art is the broadest term, I guess.
Broadest term, but yeah, music and like what sketching, drawing.
Yeah, sketching and drawing. Eventually animating. I'm actually in animation school right now.
Right. Yeah. Cap you, man.
Woo! Honestly, best week I've had this whole week, and it's only the first week. I'm probably just saying that now. I'll probably like go downhill from there. Sorry. But I'm taking a 2D the 2D animation and visual development program.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I want to draw cartoons for a living. Like that's kind of just like what I'm going for.
Like that's always like been your dream, right? Like
yeah.
When you first went to school, what you're like in the same program that I'm taking, right? Well, not the same.
The
program,
one that you're doing now.
But like the same kind of field, like trade, like drafting.
Which one?
Like you took it at what was it, BCIT?
BCIT, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was in BCIT first, and I was taking architecture and building technology. Yeah. It's kind of like what you're taking.
Then you went to work in that field.
I went to work in that field.
But you always had that like thing for wanting to do like graphics.
Yeah, to do like film, animation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Essentially with a pencil or a tablet, holding that for doing that for a living,
right?
Proper living. And honestly, like when now that we're talking about passion, like I'm just gonna say 2012 until 2015 I think was the darkest moment in my life so far.
How so? In terms of like work.
School. And that was a period when I was still in school at that time.
Oh yeah.
But me entering architecture BCIT was not a choice I made for myself.
Mm-hmm.
It was a parent family decision. You know, I come from a Filipino family. We and obviously we have this mindset. We have this mindset where you know, our pursuits should be more practical. Right?
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
decent paying
Mm-hmm.
job that's secure, and you know that's it. And you know your dreams should be kept in check. Right? And I understand that, and I am at this age where I can evaluate that and you know and agree
Mhm.
with them, but at the same time like that's not what I want to do for the rest of my
Right.
life.
Yeah.
Like if we're talking about like passion, we're talking about
Mhm.
vocations, we're talking about callings, like practicality can only go so far against what gives your day, what gives your everyday and the rest of your life like meaning, right? Or what makes you excited to wake up in the morning and um, you know what makes you what do you pursue like in your free time, or
Right.
what do you think
Yeah.
what are the things that you imagine yourself doing like instead, right? And
Yeah.
and
Like,
then ask,
looking back at it, do you think that knowing that you have something to fall back on after trying to follow your passion,
yeah.
do you think that worked out better in terms of, you know, then going straight into art school?
I think
And,
the falling back portion, I wanna say no,
no.
because this is where the irrationality kicks in when pursuing
Yeah.
passions, is that like I don't wanna and actually this is what I learned from my friend Jason in Hong Kong just earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
We were classmates in primary. He said like and he at one day in university he came across our old primary or elementary school teacher, and he asked him, "What are you doing now?" "Oh, I'm studying law." "But didn't you want to write?"
Yeah.
Like, do you want to be a writer? He is pursuing writer. He said it's not practical, and our English teacher, Mr. Ng, said, you know, if you're gonna have a plan B, you're never gonna pursue your plan A. If you're gonna pursue your plan B, you're never gonna pursue your plan A.
Right.
And even prior to that, that was kind of my mindset going into this.
Right.
Because like it's like I learned a lot from my experience in BCIT. There's so much discipline that comes with studying architecture, a certain mindset that you know there's the way that you have to think about things. Everything has to be intentional. Everything has to be
definitely.
everything has a reason for why they're there, and you know that definitely carries on over with being an animator, right? There's so many there's so much more technical things involved than just doodle your heart away. Like cartoons are much more structured than what people think they are. But regardless, like in that regards, I value my experience in BCIT and the great friends I made there that I still keep in touch with.
Yeah.
But in regards to falling back, as much as possible, I'm gonna.
You want to pursue like that passion.
I still want to pursue
that
the
dream
passion.
job
Yeah.
that you want, right?
Yeah. Like I'd rather not fall back. Like it's just to say it straight. Like the way in my head, like I wanna act as if like it's all or nothing when it comes to like pursuing.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's quite ambitious.
Because it's your passion. It's what you really want to
Yeah.
do. So like, why do something else?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I think like, and it's not, you know, just thinking about it, like it's not just animation for the sake of animation. Like like what drew me into animation in the first place, drawing in the first place, was storytelling, right? Growing up, watching like Looney Tunes or Disney movies, like on those VCR and whatever, and I don't know, maybe it just comes with temperament, but there was something like emotionally invoking about just like the way, like all these things like tell a story, and like there's some kind of moral behind them, right? Or just like emotional, like me having like emotional responses when I watch movies, or how I like eventually when I grow up,
you
I start
to pick
analyzing
apart like analyze like little details of the animation and the cartoon, right?
Yeah. And from there on, I'm just thinking like, why don't I maybe there's a way I could make a living doing that thing. And definitely, the reality is it's a harder thing to pursue, but it's knit and grit.
Right. Yeah. Like for you, I think I'm most proud of you, considering that like you have that passion that you want to like move forward to.
Yeah.
And but for me, like I still feel like I've been through like the whole 22 years of my life, and I still haven't found my passion.
Right.
Like I've never really felt that much passion for anything. Like I have hobbies, I have things that I like to do, but like as you said, I think passion is pursuing something to the fullest, right?
Right.
And I think I'm still trying to find that thing that I want to do.
It depends on what you mean by foolish, because I'll be honest with you, like in the grand scheme of things, I like, and this is where like my head is just like layered among layers, and then it's overthinking, right? But still, I think it comes to merit that like jobs is but a speck of my career is just but a speck of like what we live for, right?
Like,
And in a way,
there's so much more to live for, but passion is a big part of your life.
Passion is a big part, but at the same time, like it like I think I'll be aware that like it still flickers it's gonna flicker at one point, right? Yeah. Unless you keep it interesting still.
I think passion would probably change from not year after year, but like
from experiences to experiences.
Right.
Yeah. But like, I think like I don't know. I was gonna get religious in this. Are you allowed to talk about it?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Dude, we're freaking church. Like even though like despite my despite my pursuits, like I think it's super important. Like anything can happen. Like and it's a matter of thinking about like who or what do I in the grand scheme of things, like like if like who and or what am I living for, kind of thing.
Exactly.
So because another topic at some point, existentialism.
The trolley
problem memes.
Trolley problem memes.
In another topic, in another week. No, but then still regarding passion. But I think regarding passion, I think like it's important because it's still important because it you allow yourself to have a venue for your talents, for the gifts that you have, to express them. Like even like this podcast, right? Like, and for me, observing you and being there from pretty much the start, near the start of the process, like, and the amount of work you put here, like all the setup they have.
Bless you, bro.
And that's it. No, and there's even in that small thing, that's where you can find passion. Like it doesn't have to be.
It always starts out small, and then you start working more towards it.
Right.
Yeah.
and it's just about building. I think it's just about building something, right?
Yeah.
It's just and step by step. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have. You don't necessarily have to move out like I did. You don't have to work long nights.
Right.
And this,
Yeah.
but it's just.
It's something that you do because you like to do it.
It's something that you like to do and it gives like to do, and it's something that you like to do and also that gives you some level of meaning in what you do. And okay, and I know that we're over an hour now. Just another thing about passion is I also do music on the side, so I compose my own music. I think that's more like a labor of love. That's not something if it happens, if it gets cool, if it gets like super popular, that's cool, but that's not my priority. That's just like something I do for myself.
Check out his mixtape.
Yeah, and
Wait,
so
are you planning to like release the on the same day?
On the same day, the new music.
Yeah.
Not yet. I'm still looking for that photo.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it some other time.
Yeah.
But anyway, I do have music up of just like some of my finished songs. They're part of this EP that I've been working on. It's called City Lights EP, and it consists of 4 songs. 3 have been posted up. They're on my SoundCloud. It's Carlo Puche. It's Carlo _Puche. So soundcloud.com/Carlo Puche.
I'll put in the description.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that is the end of episode 3.
Yeah. Oh.
An hour and 12 minutes long.
It's not too bad actually, but.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You wanna take us out, bro?
Sure. I'll just head out.
I mean, do the outro.
Yeah, sure. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching The Park. Tune in next week for more parks with The Park and Paul. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a good night.
All right. Great job, bro.
Thanks, man.
So here it is off the City Lights EP, Constantly by Carlo Puche.
Constantly thinking of you, constantly dreaming of you. Beyond feelings I go, or I try to follow. Let my feelings be known, or I'll try tomorrow.